Hey guys, Merc here, welcome to another video. Before we get into today's video, I'd just like to let you guys know, if you didn't already, that I stream regularly on Twitch, and you can find me at twitch.tv/mercatortv, link on screen now. I stream every second evening, sometimes more frequently, and most of the time I'm playing WoW. So yeah, don't forget to follow, turn notifications on, as I don't have a true stream schedule and times may vary, but you can also follow my Twitter at Mercader for up to the minute updates on when I do start streaming. So, today I'm going to be taking a good look at the big Battle for Azeroth announcement. I'll be tackling classic servers in another video, but let's just say I am goddamn excited. And I've been really enjoying playing Project 60 with some of the boys on stream lately. It's been a good time. First up, the trailer. In my opinion, one of the most epic WoW cinematics to date. If you haven't seen it yet, I won't spoil anything. Here it is in its entirety.
Ours is a cycle of hatred. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Close ranks! Advance has won! Lordaeron will be ours! My king, we have her cornered.
Keep firing!
For the Alliance! Seriously though, how good was that? Anduin and Sylvanas in a showdown in the ruins of Lordaeron, the Alliance finally taking the fight to the Undercity, Alliance vs Horde. The whole catalyst for this expansion taking place is two big attacks. Firstly, the Horde will attack and burn down Teldrassil, the giant ancient tree home to the Alliance city of Darnassus, the Night Elves, basically that whole starting area, that whole thing's burning down. And in the features overview for BFA, we actually see Teldrassil up in flames, as you can see here. After this, we have the epic cinematic a lot of us have been watching on repeat for over a week now, where the Alliance retaliates and storms the Undercity and the ruins of Lordaeron. We'll be coming into BFA exactly after that cinematic finishes. Definitely a big start for the expansion. I think that's what we've all been waiting for. We've been fighting off all these threats to Azeroth for so long that we've forgotten about how much we hate each other. And we're finally back to it. It's a PvP expansion, lads and ladettes. Rejoice! There's so much to talk about. Okay, so according to what we've heard at BlizzCon, the whole campaign, aside from the storylines, the new civilizations and allies will provide, will be focused around the long-lived Alliance-Horde rivalry. A big ol' war since we've finished killing most of the things actually attacking Azeroth. This in itself is really exciting for me because it means that people are going to be playing through these Alliance and Horde war campaigns, building this hatred for the opposing faction, which is something I feel we've been lacking for a few expansions. We've all been focused on exploring the Broken Isles and leveling our artifacts while working side by side with the opposing faction, or exploring Draenor and killing forgettable orcs and ogres, or exploring Pandaland and dealing with the Shah. Like, I feel like it's been a long ass time since we've had a campaign that focused on what Warcraft was all about. Orcs vs humans, Alliance vs Horde, the faction rivalry and animosity that old school players felt every time they saw a player of the other faction. I'm so damn excited that they're bringing that feeling back. I want to feel that fear or predatory hunger that came from seeing an enemy player in your midst. The tension of whether they'd attack you or bring friends, or whether you should attack them first and get out of dodge before they had a chance to bring a whole guild down on you. Sometimes making that decision to attack an opposing player led to a miniature war as the original participants of the conflict brought in guildies or recruited people from general chat, and all of a sudden the next 2 to 3 hours was spent trying to be the winner of a conflict over something as inconsequential as a mining node or simple proximity. And when that happened, I loved every second of it. For me, that was what Warcraft was all about. Which is why I am so damn excited that Eon Hazakostas, WoW's game designer, spoke at length about bringing World PvP back in Battle for Azeroth. Here is a quick cut of the World PvP changes from World of Warcraft's What's Next segment at BlizzCon.
I know there are many of you for whom World PvP is what you're all about. Whether it was 13 years ago ganking noobs in Stranglethorn Vale, making people switch to their mains to come get you, or just being a terror of World Quest areas today, it's the thing that you love. And you might feel like it hasn't been treated with the respect it deserves over the years. We agree. But you might be actually sitting here hearing about and thinking about this expansion we're talking about, where you'll be venturing into enemy-controlled lands with a bit of trepidation, thinking, that sounds actually pretty frustrating. On the other end of the spectrum, there are those of you who love World PvP and feel like, exactly, and feel like that's part of what makes World of Warcraft, and you want more of it. You want it to be more balanced, you want it to be more interesting, and you want it to occur more organically. We agree. Getting rid of this arbitrary division between PvP and PvE server rule sets, we want to make this an individual toggle. Unifying our servers into a single rule set, so when you are in Stormwind, you're in Orgrimmar, you're in Dalaran, you can choose whether you want to PvP flag, you want to opt into PvP, or not. And if you do, when you venture out into the world, you'll basically be on a PvP server, PvP rule set, with other people who've also opted into that gameplay. And if you don't want to, don't. Play the way you want to play. We'll have a lot more to talk about this in the future, but the aim of these changes is to build a foundation upon which we can make World PvP great again.
talking about World PvP as part of their main Warcraft presentation at BlizzCon tells me that they understand that World PvP was a part of what made WoW so great. I literally cheered. So the big thing is them essentially removing the distinction between PvE and PvP servers by turning PvP into a toggled state for everyone, and matching players together who have it toggled on or off. Additionally, they'll be adding bonuses for people who have their PvP toggled on. My hope is that this, combined with a campaign centric on war between the Horde and Alliance, will revive World PvP to the kind of healthy level it was at back in Vanilla, BC, Wrath, and Kata. In additional expansion news, the Alliance expansion zones on the previously undiscovered continent of Koltiris look beautiful and are quite varied. From a piratey town of old-timey outlaws to a zone with monsters and a theme that could be best described as a well-mixed crossover of Duskwood and Howling Ford. The Horde's new questing zone, Zandalar, focuses on the Lower Gods and the long-lost Zandalari Empire, a faction you may have encountered a few times if you're an old-school WoW player. The zones have an Ungoro/Zuldrak vibe to them, apart from Vol'dun, which is very unique looking. From sparse desert plains to oases and everywhere in between. The main motivations for allying ourselves with these new civilizations is due to their covetable navies. Something both factions are in need of for the overarching faction war storyline, given this conflict takes place on an island archipelago. The allied races being made available through questing and BFA are a cool touch, and I look forward to leveling one or two of them myself. For the Horde, you will have Nightborn, High Mountain Tauren, and Zandalari Trolls, while the Alliance will get Void Elves, Lightforged Draenei, and Dark Iron Dwarves. There's leveling improvements being made to the base game, as well as various quality of life changes coming before BFA. We'll be getting a new battleground set in Silithus called the Seething Shore, featuring dynamic control points where the objectives will spawn 3 at a time on the map at random, similar to how Ashran's dynamic objectives worked. We're getting 2 new arenas, situated in Koltiris and Zandalar, and Blizz have said they'll continue releasing cool new PvP brawls for us to mess around with. They've certainly been fun so far. We've also got a new PvP activity, a 3v3 PvP mode announced as part of the island expeditions being added in Battle for Azeroth, a serious expansion on the scenario PvE mode introduced in Mists of Pandaria. Warfronts is a new 20-player PvE mode where you'll fight an army of the opposing faction, but quite unfortunately not real players. I was actually pretty disappointed to find that out. It's a small grievance though, with what is looking to be a really memorable expansion. I'm excited to hear more, and I'll let you guys know if I hear anything cool. Make sure you're subscribed for more Battle for Azeroth and classic WoW content, and let me know in the comments where you're for the Horde or for the Alliance. Till next video, this is Merc Out. Peace.